Welcome back. You're watching The Money Show with me, Kavita Thapliyal. The Reserve Bank of India recently launched a 100 days, 100 pays campaign to trace and settle the top 100 unclaimed deposits of every bank in every district within 100 days. Let's welcome on board Harsh Roongta, founder of Fee Only Investment Advisors, and discuss more about this campaign and how individuals can take advantage of this campaign to settle an unclaimed deposit. Harsh, good evening and welcome to the show. A lovely campaign that RBI has come up with, and I think it started on the 1st of June and it is still on. We are talking about the unclaimed deposits and fixed deposits, recurring deposits and savings account, right? As far as the data goes, and I think we've discussed this earlier also, the amount, the unclaimed deposits that's lying with the bank in SBI is 8,086 crores, PNB 5,340 crores, Canara Bank 4,558 crores, Bank of Baroda is 3,904 crores. That much amount is lying with these banks, which is unclaimed. What do we do about it? How do we go about it? How are banks actually tracing those people who are the owner of this money, of this amount?
So I think it would be better, Kavita, to understand what exactly the issue is, and people will relate to this, that you opened an account, you joined the job, opened an account, you got your salary 3 years later, moved to another company, opened an account in another bank, got your salary there. The earlier account was forgotten. It may have had 5,000, 10,000 rupees, may have had more, and so on. Individually, each of these amounts may not be large. In some cases, there are large amounts as well. But taken together, what is already 10 years old is 35,000 crores across all banks, right? And more will get in there, right? Every account, this does not have a client-induced transaction for 2 years, is classified as a inoperative account. Then you have to go do KYC again to get it operative, etc. Now, up to 9 years, it stays with the bank. Only at the end of 10 years, the inoperative account will now be transferred to the money of that account will be transferred to the depositor's education and awareness fund. So 35,000 crores is the amount that is with RBI. In addition, inoperative accounts with banks will be another large sum. I don't really have the data for that. The key is, this is Indian people's money. There has been no effort at all to trace the rightful heirs to this money. In fact, the money was just lying there. The search facilities, so obviously you have forgotten about it. Now, if you want to find out whether you have any forgotten money elsewhere in the world, they figured this out. There are ways in which you can find out on the net if there is any money is due to you, not just on account of bank accounts, dividends, shares, and again, those amounts are humongous here as well, as we have discussed in an earlier program. I think what is missing are two things. One, there is definitely no proactive effort on the part of the regulators to find out to whom this money is payable. Second, there is also no facility by which anybody can sort of search easily. For bank accounts, you have to literally go to each bank's website, go through their completely unfriendly user interfaces to come to know whether you have any money unclaimed there. And they might ask you, what is the savings account number? Now, if you had remembered the savings account number, the money would not have got transferred to the depositors education awareness fund in the first place. So my point is, I think all this has come to light. I think media has had a lot to do with it. The Money Life Foundation, which is a not-for-profit foundation, filed a writ petition in the Supreme Court, and I think that has brought the spotlight on this whole issue completely. And I think that is good. Now there is a proactive reach. What you read about 100 days, 100 claims. This is a outreach that RBI is asking each bank to do, and they will go out and actually in every district, every bank will look at the top 10 unclaimed amounts, top 100 unclaimed amounts, and try and locate the survivors or the beneficiaries of that and try and give. Let us see what results come out of that. So this has been a concerted effort. It has also been referred to in the Supreme Court committee report that has been the Supreme Court committee that was set up pursuant to all those Hindenburg report. I think that committee has referred to this, that there should be a central authority tasked with accumulating all this money, creating a infrastructure that, and the primary job should not be using that for only investor education. That can be one of the objectives, but the primary job of that authority should be to reunite that money with its rightful heirs. And I think that has been completely missing in any of the efforts so far, whether you take the investor education protection fund or whether you take the deposit education and awareness fund, the senior citizens welfare fund into which EPF and small savings funds go, and there is a education awareness fund within SEBI, and there is another one. Put together, there are 5 funds that are holding in excess of 1 lakh crores of Indian public's money. And I think this is an extremely important issue that has so far, unfortunately, not been neglected, that has so far not really got the kind of attention that it deserved, and is now getting it thanks to media, thanks to organizations like Money Life, thanks to a lot of articles that even I have written on. I have written primarily on IPF.
How can one actually trace this amount? Now, for example, someone remembers that they have some amount lying which they've forgotten about. Where should they go? How should they apply for this claim?
So each bank has its own procedure. First of all, you must remember which bank, what account. Then you have to go to that bank's website. Then find out, if you don't remember the account number. If you have everything, if you have the document, if you have the fixed deposit receipt, then you can just go to the bank branch. There is a form, you'll have to do KYC. Okay, and if you are the person, in the sense it is your own fixed deposit, then it is probably simple. I don't really have experience on handling this because the amounts tend to be small. Individually, the amounts tend to be small. Unlike shares, where initially they might have been small and that's why they got forgotten, but over time, because of the rise in market value, it became big. In the case of bank accounts, the amounts were small, and because interest rates are so low, the amounts remained small. I think that is the real point about bank accounts. So the process is probably relatively simple. If you have all the documents and you yourself are the depositor, then there will be some documents you will need to do. It will depend on bank to bank. Each bank's website has those data. You'll have to do KYC again, and you should be able to get your money relatively quickly. Complications arise when the depositor is not alive, okay, and you are the beneficiary. Now there are issues, or if you don't have the fixed deposit receipt. So I think there are varying levels of issues that will arise, especially if the amount exceeds 1 lakh in the case of bank accounts.
The interest, what about the interest that you might have earned on these particular deposits? What happens to that?
So I think interest, I'm not sure about this, Kavita. I think the interest ceases definitely posted going into depositors education awareness fund, interest ceases. Okay. Up to that time, after your account has become inoperative, does interest cease or not? I'm not sure, but you can be sure that, I mean, today, given the charge structure of SMS, they will charge some 10 rupees, 20 rupees. So slowly in an inoperative account, if anyways there was not a large amount to start with, this 20 rupees plus GST, 25 rupees plus GST, and slowly I don't think any amount really will be left unless it is a big fixed deposit, etc., that has been forgotten. I doubt on a fixed deposit post its maturity there will be any interest at all.
What happens in the scenario where you don't have any documents on you?
So you would have to give those. So as I said, every bank has its procedure. You will have to go to the bank's website. Their bank's procedure will be there. And now I believe they would soon have a more standard procedure. Obviously, a campaign like 100 days, 100 claim in every district will obviously require a standardized procedure for it to be done. So I think we will see some improvements. These are very, very early days, but it is a great start. Something has started that has never been done before.
So, a small step, but a very important step in the right direction. Thank you so much, Harsh, for being on the show, helping our viewers with this. We'll take a quick break, but then post that, let's talk about the events that can hit your portfolio and your portfolio earning just when you really needed that money. What should be your strategy then? And we'll be joined by Kaustubh Bilapurkar for this, and he'll be also answering your portfolio related queries after this break.